Everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about one stock to keep on watch for today. We're also going to look at the overall market along with doing some updates on the stocks that I've mentioned in the last video. Now, let's dive right into the charts right off the bat. Let's go over here to the SPY. All right, and right now the SPY is, for those of you who watched this video, I told you guys that the SPY was going to run all the way up to 45.70 to this green circle right here. It chopped in the middle, like it chopped in the morning before actually starting to run after the initial hour, and then it went all the way up. It was just an all-day grinder on here, so it's kind of, it's like, how do I say this thing? It's kind of tough to it's not a smooth, there's no smooth way to get into this apart from like getting in after the break and retest right here, right? But this is very difficult price action, but it eventually got there. Now the main question is it going to continue higher? Let's go on to the 4-hour, and right now the market is looking a little bit lumpy. It's looking lumpy, and we might see a retest of 45.40 first, and then if it holds, then we could see an influx of buyers probably in the afternoon. But I think this morning might be a little shaky. I think this morning there could be a sell-off with some stocks before we see any type of move higher. Like, this is not looking good. Like, the best case scenario would have been for it to open up at around the same price or even higher, like right at 45.60, right, before going higher. But right now it's looking lumpy. It's not looking that great. So just keep in mind that a drop in the first 30 minutes is highly likely before we see a bounce right here at around like 10 or 11 a.m. Central Time, like this. All right, so that's my thoughts on this one. Now the stock for today, the stock that I'm keeping on watch, that you should be keeping on watch as well, that one is Adobe. All right, and the reason why I want to share Adobe with you guys is because Adobe had earnings yesterday, and again, the reaction to earnings is not always doesn't always match the actual numbers that the stock generated or how the stock earnings actually did. The reaction is completely unpredictable. Again, like I always say, holding through earnings is 150% gambling, and if you're gonna do it, manage your risk. But this time earning is out the way, so this is good. Right now I'm leaning very bearish on it because we're gonna go on a 4-hour. Like, the stock has been on a tear for a few months now, for about 4 months. And right now, it didn't do too well through earnings based off of the reaction. Maybe the numbers can say otherwise, but the reaction says the stock collapsed all the way down to 532. All right. Now, there is a structure on the chart right over here. I think it might be on the 15. It is on the 15. Yes. There's a bearish pendant on the chart, and that earnings letdown caused that thing to collapse. Therefore, watch this one for a continuation down, especially given the fact that there may be a sell-off with the SPY and the Nasdaq. Watch it for a continuation down. Like, I think it's going to do a little bit of this and then drop all the way down to 520. 520 is where I see this thing going before we see it slow down and then turn around. All right, so that's the stock for today. Watch it for a potential short. Now let's do an update on some stocks. Yesterday I gave you guys 3 sectors. The first sector was Google. Let's go on the 1. The first sector was Google, and then clear drawings. Yes. All right. I gave you guys Google. I told you guys to watch it for a long up to 140. It's still very it's still stubborn. Like, it went up Like there was money to be made on Google, and congrats to anybody who made money on Google, right? This thing went up, but it didn't go all the way up to 140 like I told you guys. So I was wrong about that. The question is, will it get to 140 today? Well, if it stays strong and doesn't pull back too much, I think there is a chance that it could. The daily charts on Google is still bullish, right? We still have an ascending triangle on the charts right over here, right? So a retest of 137.20 wouldn't surprise me, but it has to hold it. If it doesn't hold it, then it's probably gonna turn out like sideways, then immediately crash next week. So it has to hold here, and then bounce, and then break above the yesterday's high, which is 138.40, before going to 140. All right. So the structure is still there. It's just that the market is kind of shaky this morning, and I don't know if it's actually gonna be on its best behavior today. All right. So Google is still one to watch. The structure is still there. It's just that the Qs have to help out somehow. All right. Now, in other updates, I mentioned Chinese stocks yesterday. I mentioned JD. All right, and with JD, this one it struggled a lot. It struggled to hold its own. The stock didn't really do much. I think what I mentioned was meant for today, because I saw news about the Chinese stocks being up because of rate hikes, because of rate cuts in China. I saw that in one of the, I don't know if it was JD or Baba, but it was one of the news feed. Definitely check that out. I think I saw it. So watch that one for a long. I have my alert set at exactly $32. If it rings again, wait for the bell to ring. That would mean confirmation. And there's some shorts right here who are terrified for the price to get up there. And if it does get up there, they most likely will cover. All right. The level of resistance is right on here. Set your alerts at exactly $32 or a little bit slightly above $32, and watch for a run on the Chinese sector. The last sector that I showed you guys was banks. I told you guys to watch out for banks, specifically JP Morgan, right? The level of resistance was right here. And as soon as it broke it, there was a nice day trading opportunity on it to $150, all right? So congratulations to anybody who made some money on that one as well. The other stocks in the bank sector weren't that great. The only other stock that did well was Goldman Sachs. That one did pretty well. That one did very, very well. But the other ones like Bank of America or Citibank, they were all right. On the daily chart, they still have a lot of room to recover. All right, there's some gaps right here on Bank of America. When would that get filled? I'm not too sure. All right, I don't know exactly when it's going to get up to $31. I know that eventually it will. All right, but we have to let the charts give us the clues, as in when or how soon things can happen. But until then, I would just say keep the banks on watch. The trend for the banks are bullish, and just watch for the structures to take your positions on there to make some day trades as it climbs higher. If I know any more about the banks, I will talk about them in the next video. All right, so that is the end of the video. Do not forget to demolish the like button. As always, don't forget to click on that subscribe button if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. Again, these videos are released 15 to 20 minutes before the market opens from Monday to Friday. To have early access to those, click on the join button to become a channel member and click on morning videos. All right. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community, we can get all of this information in real time as I see them. You can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. If you haven't followed me on social media yet, you can find me at NGumah, at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on Twitter. And lastly, if you're interested in getting some free stocks with Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is NGumah with Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns only. And I will see all of you in the next video.